Hey guys, wherever you're watching me from, I just want to say good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching me. Today I'll be discussing a very important topic that will touch our heart, topic that will holistically, be able to determine what's necessary to be done. A topic of a genuine young man who happened to be a what they call it, a freedom fighter. A topic of a man who is sympathized by what is going on by his people. A man who is born in a royal home that decided to give up his royal home in order to fight for the liberation of his people. A man who saw that the marginalization of his people is a stigma for development. A man who saw that the young youth, the vulnerable ones, were not given opportunity to excel in the community. A man who saw that the younger generation may not have a way to go around to do other things. A man who saw industrious people cannot be active enough to produce things to help not only to their own country but the entire world. A man whose empathy guide to do some great things. A young man who happened to have every opportunity in UK, but he decided to fight for his own people and say, no, I'm going to sacrifice in order for the younger youth and the next generation to have a good life. It's a story of a young man who everyone sometimes call Prince. They call him a lot of names. Some believe in his call. Some also feel wary on his call. But today, I just want to remind you his name is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a guy who once studied in Nigeria and went to Britain. Nnamdi Kanu was born during the war. He was born during the war by technical, when you describe Nnamdi Kanu, but Nnamdi Kanu was not in Nigeria. He was born during the war. Then after the Battle of Nnamdi Kanu, Nigeria now and Biafra and Nigeria have a way to surrender. Now, the fight against Biafra and Nigeria wasn't surrendered yet fully because the leader then said it's a fight of no win, no vanquish. This is something that we all have to take a credit. In May 30th, now, many Biafrans around the world will go and celebrate that they are independent. They're going to celebrate the Heroes Day, the day of men that fought those who died. They have to celebrate those things. So the fight between Nigeria and Biafra was a fight that you say no victory. So the fight is still active. But today, the case between Nigeria and Nnamdi Kanu is a case that I have taken my time many times to look into. Even when I'm not a lawyer, the whole case is clear. And it's playing out now that even Nigerian government is denying they don't have clue what happened to the man that they brought on their custody. They made the DSS, which happened one of the best, the highest security Interpol in the country. With higher academic, I believe for you to be in such a place, you will not have only first degree. You have criminal degree, you have other sociology degree, maybe body language degree, and other psych degree in order to determine and catch criminals. But today they are claiming that they don't have clue on who they have. So that means DSS can just pick anybody. Anybody can just be pointed and you go and pick them. These are not police. These are one of the highest security they claim in the town. So that makes it something disgusting when you hear of that kind of a thing. But the case continues to go. The thing is that it's not clear how Nnamdi Kanu came to Nigeria because DSS now is prolonging the matter. When they say they are not aware of who Nnamdi Kanu was, they are not partakers of those that brought Nnamdi Kanu to Nigeria, they now have stretched the case again. So the magistrates, and if Nnamdi Kanu have good legal team, what would they ask? They'll ask, okay, how do you guys have this guy in custody? What agreement did whoever that you guys say brought this guy have? Then that case continue to come. Because now the Kanu case will be very interesting though. If they are saying DSS said they don't have idea how Nnamdi Kanu comes to their custody, then Kenya have to produce how do you allow people that do not got idea to access your international airport, to have a special pass, to be able to kidnap someone in your state capital, in your airport. So this case is going to bring up a lot of things. The way we are seeing it now, like the Nigerian government is trying to dig a hole that will stretch the case so much. Because the case of how do you bring Nnamdi Kanu, is still not answered yet. The case of who do you have? Even the DSS man went to the extent of saying that Nnamdi Kanu told him that he was taken from a foreign country to the Nigeria. Nnamdi Kanu told him, and he didn't ask him question. He said Nnamdi Kanu told him that he's not aware. So one is that he's ignorant of who Nnamdi Kanu is. Nnamdi Kanu is a popular figure in Igbo land. Igbo is the main territory controlled by the Biafrans. You see, because I said it, a lot of younger people went to school to study law. A lot of young generation went to school to study law. What is law? Law is like trying to obey the rules of the land or trying to find a loophole in order to defend your client or to defend whoever that comes to your chamber. Law is a way for you to hold people accountable. Law is not meant for us to use when it suits us. Some laws are meant even before we are born. Some laws are meant that at years, maybe 40, 50 years, 60 years, magistrates, judges will go back and make reference of every case that they brought before them. Because most of these judges, every case they tender, I believe the case was locked because other lawyers can borrow it as a way to, reference their own judgment. Or maybe they will say that, well, that judgment was outdated when it happens. And also what is going on also, we give the younger youth appreciation to study law. Because when you come out and see how lawyers structure the case and win a case, you will so much appreciate the knowledge we have. But when the knowledge we have now becomes abusive, the next generation will say, God forbid. When the knowledge we have, when the magistrates begin to play politics, begin to play things that will abuse power, that will abuse what we know as law. In a Western world where I am, you will look at laws, you will appreciate what law is all about. When you look at some of the law they make, when you look at the lawyers that defend them, you'll be very happy. You say, man, this guy have story. This guy have a high IQ. That drags them, that goes up. In fact, in a Western world, many lawyers want to drag a case with government so that when they win those cases, they have more higher profile. And judges want to prove why they are the best lawyers in this case. But the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Nigeria have not given us this thing. What is giving us is more exposing the corrupt nature of Nigeria, giving us the corrupt nature of the legal system Nigeria have. Also make even people like us start questioning whether those that we call judges, those that we call lawyers, rightfully acquire their degrees. That also makes us to question whether those that we say they are higher intelligent officers rightfully acquire their degrees. Like in Nigeria, DSS is like FBI. Why the Interpol and this is like CIA and things like that? Like Australia, we have federal police. Even a common police in Australia have basic law knowledge. How can a very high intelligent officer come in to speak so ill that way? Everything, I don't know. The greatest mistake is to say, I got no idea how the guy that have been in their custody for almost 4 years came to be. In all ratification, in all nature, it is a disgrace to the nation. To me, if it is a nation that works, those people that are there will be arrested and charged because their degree may be fraud. You can't attend such a higher education, higher area, and came in to say junk. In fact, the guy that is defending this also have to defend his own academic qualification. But what we are seeing here is someone who came in to talk crap. Even myself, I'm not a lawyer. I find it very funny. When I posted the video, a lot of people find it very funny. It is so funny to see that men like this are taking the country for granted. Nigeria, like if I want to use Nigeria, have produced a lot of lawyers outside the country. When you travel to Europe, travel to America, Canada, USA, Australia, you find so many Nigerian doctors, you find so many Nigerian nurses, so many Nigerian high achievers. But when you come to Nigeria, you see people we have, the lawyers you have in Nigeria are not finding anything. The lawyers, the doctors, and all those things. It's a disgrace to have people like you defending a country that you call Nigeria. How do you think that outsider will give you respect when you find people in this nature? How do you think that people outside will give you respect? When we find that the highest intelligence in the country say they got no idea the guy they have for more than 3 years in their custody. Nnamdi Kanu literally, Nnamdi Kanu is not a lawyer, Nnamdi Kanu study business admin. Although in business admin, you study law because you study outside the country, right? You study part of law. Is coming out to scope the lawyers, to tell the lawyer what to do. Nigeria have even changed their, chief judge. But without help, at the end of the day, do you think that Nnamdi Kanu will be persecuted or Nnamdi Kanu will be put in prison? You see, they try to form things different way in order to prison Nnamdi Kanu, but the thing is that they continue to fail. People are watching, outside the world are watching. I'm coming out soon to digest this, the interview the EFCC chairman had. He had a recent interview where he talks about Yahoo boys, and his own admission, he even said that the Yahoo boys are the cause of why Nigerian passport is not being viewed with respect. He said it, that when you're going out of the country with Nigerian passport, that people will begin to automatically believe that you're a criminal with Nigerian passports. When I had such a view from a chairman of EFCC, I feel like crying. And believe me, this guy claimed to be a pastor of Redeem. Now that tells you what kind of church is Redeem having in Nigeria too. They have Redeem Christian Church not far away from me. I see those things. I say, if the founder is corrupt, then the people that worship in that place will be corrupt too. I will come back to analyze that. I hope that they will play so that he can sit down and articulate properly before he grants interview. Nnamdi Kanu case, you know what happened to Nnamdi Kanu case? What have Nnamdi Kanu done wrong? Nigerian government knows that the guy case is not something they were going to nail on. They know that in all education, Buhari made a great mistake. Nigerian government made a great mistake. I say, Ngozi Orazeze and Ogen Kele come together and say Simon Ekpa and pretend that they are fighting each other. Two of them are Nigerian with different form, but oh my goodness, Nigerian people, you always for me. Destroying Biafra. Did you ever see these two individuals ever twisted Fulani terrorists killing in Biafra land? Please, if you see it, show me. It will open your eyes. God bless Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Okay. We Igbo Biafras have only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Simon Ekpa. Now we saw them. We have gone out race. Nobody is going to talk to us. There is somebody that will talk to you guys. There's somebody. So let me continue what I'm saying. Thanks for your comment anyway. If you're watching me YouTube, in Facebook, please share. Let's get this thing together. How do you feel Nnamdi Kanu case? Do you think that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is guilty? You know, some Igbos today are coming up and saying all sorts of things. Some other tribes are saying things. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, let's start his own case. Well, the first time they arrested Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wasn't there fighting for only his own justice. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, in one of his outing, a man came out from the Islamic area who they have been oppressing for a long time. Imam, which I don't want to name his name. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu used the opportunity and say that this Imam is innocent. Why can't we let this Imam go? He said that this Imam is innocent. Why can't Nigeria let the Imam go? Why are we fighting the man? Why are we putting the man in prison? So this Imam later gone. I always say this, if you are from Nigeria, Africa, you have an open heart, you should be fighting for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be out. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu not only opened the heart of the Biafran people, that's their territory, but the eyes of Nigerians. Do you know, since his detention, Nigerian journalists have never carried any incredible news? Most of the news Nigerian journalists carry comes from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and after investigation, it is just raw as. Since, check it out, since they kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, Nigerian newspaper have never carried any triggering news. Remember the last one they carried, which Obi the book, and like I said, I try as much as possible to present incredible news. I know some of you guys send me message, Obi, what happened to this news? Haven't you carried this news on Obi? I carry sports and all those things. I say, Obi, this thing. Now, guys, we have to make sure that it's incredible before we can put it out there for you guys. Now, remember when Nigerian journalists keep saying that Simon Ekpa will be extradited and deported on June, coming months. They say June 16. June 16 is almost here, next month, like about 2 weeks now. What did I say? I came out and tell you guys this is a junk. Nigerian newspaper and broadcast, mostly Channel TV, does not have job. They don't know what they're doing. They only carry things when say, if I post something now, highest maybe 30 or 40 minutes, we hear them talking about those things. This is something that Nigerian journalists lack. They lack in credibility. They only come up and conquer things, which is shameful because a lot of people follow Rise Television. A lot of people follow Rise News. A lot of people watch Sahara. A lot of people, Sahara, I give it to Sahara. Sahara tries sometimes. But a lot of people read Vanguard. Vanguard Punch, all these people, most time they carry fraud news. The case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, none of them have come out and say that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case, how can a Nigerian intelligence officer came and say that he got no ID, he don't have ID, and they got no hand in arrest of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Then why do you have him there? If you got no hand, why do you have him there? Why criminals in the country are rolling around? If Nigeria is working, tell me, can somebody like Bola Ahmed Tinubu come be a president in Nigeria? Do you know today that Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot go to America safely because he's scared of FBI? You know that. I know many of Nigeria knows that. Do you know that today, many countries, Bola Ahmed Tinubu need a very higher special pass to get into those countries? Country like Canada, country like even Australia. If Bola Ahmed Tinubu is coming to Australia, there will be a protest. I don't even right because he has a standing criminal case. In Australian law, in terms of character assessment, say that if you have criminal case, you will not be accepted to the country. This is character assessment of Australia. Do you know, even Donald Trump, there was a debate that Donald Trump is still a phenomenon. Can we allow it in Australia? Can the Prime Minister use a veto power to push him in the country? Remember, even though if he did it, if Prime Minister leaves tomorrow, opposition leader may decide to, follow the Prime Minister up. Australia is a country that things work. So if we have those kind of people, like innocent people like Nnamdi Kanu suffering, someone like Wike is walking around, someone like Zik is walking around, Oduzakale is walking around, El Rafai is walking around. What of the guy? What of Abakari? Abakari is still being hidden by the Nigerian government. Someone that definitely, listen, very soon Hush Puppy will be out, but Abakari is still hidden. Nobody's talking about Abakari, These are guys that America wanted to get. And we are talking about this today. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case is a sympathetic case. It's a case that Kenya, sometimes I say Kenya I don't know what to say about Kenya. Because if Kenya could not take time, if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu finish, they are going to pay big timely. You can't. Somebody who came to your country. Remember, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, if you go to my video, that years when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was arrested, I said Nigeria made a big mistake. Kenya made a big mistake. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu entered Kenya legally. He came to Kenya with UK passport, not even Nigeria passport. There's nothing like Nigeria inside. You cannot decide, because if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is carrying UK and Nigerian passport, then it's different entirely. He's carrying UK passport. You can't just conclude because somebody is holding, somebody just came and saw you and say you are Nigeria, then you say, okay, you can come and kidnap him. Is it because Nnamdi Kanu is still has a black color? So if a white man goes to UK with the British passport, Nigerian government will call him and say, hey, that guy is from Nigeria. Then Kenya will say kidnapping. It's because you saw Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have a black skin. Is that all? They violated his liberty. His freedom is violated by Kenya. Nigerian government security say they don't know. Very soon, Kenya don't take time. Nigerian government will say that Kenya came and dumped Nnamdi Kanu in Nigeria and DSS is rescuing Nnamdi Kanu. That will be the case next. Because Kenya is watching this unfolding. They are saying nothing. Kenya is watching this unfolding and they are saying nothing. It is a shame that everyone will watch this kind of things. If Nigeria is a country that is functioning, for a long time, people will go on the street, protest against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Because injustice to one is injustice to all. You see, sometimes people say this. When things are happening, you refuse to call it out. It will come one day to bite you. When you see things going wrong, you refuse to speak out. It will come one day to bite you. It's good for you when you see wrong things, you call it out. Tell people that this is wrong so that the future will be okay for you. Many of us today will suffer because we didn't say out things when it's happening until those things become too bad for us. We need to wake up and start saying the truth. You see, I like Australia word that say that if you see something, say something. It's very important. When you see something, you say something. When you see wrong done to people, you say it. Do you think that I agree in all Nnamdi Kanu say? No. Do you think that I support Biafra wholeheartedly without questioning? No. But when wrong things have been done, it's good to say. It doesn't matter who it is. Many of us say, oh, I don't want to say so that they don't kill me, so don't do this, don't do this. But remember, things that you refuse to face, maybe not you, your son or your grandson may face it one day. Then you start coming out and say, oh my goodness, why is this happening? Why? But because you refuse to face it when you have time to do that. You see, that's why when I look at Obasanjo, sometimes I laugh. Because some of these things Obasanjo is running around today with IPOB, he could have faced it when he was the president of the country, not just for one term. He was president for 2 terms. So when you see Nnamdi Kanu today, gotten, in that court, and people are keeping quiet, it's happening to them. Look at Natasha. For example, look at what happened to Natasha in the courts. Today, the Akpabio himself, the Senate president, today sue with Yaya Bello, who also is facing a criminal charge, is going to be a witness against the lady being sued by Nigerian federal government. Maybe Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not aware of this. When you refuse to speak, you see what's happened to Simi. He was in authority. When things are happening, he refused to speak because he's benefiting from Wike. Later, he wants people to empathize with him. That's what things happen. It will come to you. Wike is enjoying it today, but tomorrow he may not enjoy it. And people will come out and say justice for Wike. But now he has the power to speak truth and say Nnamdi Kanu has no case to answer with Nigerian government. He refused to shut up. But tomorrow it will come to bite him. You that are watching me, or you that follows, maybe you sell or obey, you so much support these people. You refuse to speak. Tomorrow, you may be a victim and you want people to come and speak on your behalf. Those people will keep quiet. You will be asking yourself, is there no people in this area? Is there no people in this country? But forgetting that if you will be speaking the truth, people will also speak on your behalf. Never you say it until it's my own turn or my brother, my sister. Even though you're not from the Biafra territory, when you find that people are getting killed just for the sake of we want freedom, what stops you from saying that no life needs to be taken away? That everybody deserves a good life. Why don't you say that you should give these people a chance to vote and let's put this to full stop? Must we all fight to destroy each other before we get along? Must we all live by forced marriage? In Western world, if husband and wife cannot get together, they separate them, the next thing they divorce, right? Why are we still living? Why that we think that some of the few majority of those ones who has money, look at the shame that we are having in our land. In Australia here, I was buying a coffee one day. Sorry, guys. I was buying a coffee one day when one of the MP, a Senate MP a Senate MP was standing behind me, waiting for me to buy my coffee before he buy his coffee. If that is in Nigeria, they will actually push me away. They will even beat me. The security men will beat the hell out of me to get out of the way so that the man will buy coffee. Look at what happened in Nigeria today. Governor Governor Hope Uzodinma leaning down for the vice president to greet the vice president, somebody who has authority. Also, a young man called Governor Chief Priest, leaning down, walking as if he had broke all the laws, because these guys, they are not clear. They have criminal tendency. If you are doing your genuine thing, why are you scared? Why can't you stand your ground and do the right thing? When a governor is passing, you see people dying, forcing themselves on ground because they are all full of guilty. They don't want, that's why the people that will not want this country to work or divide is the richer ones, mostly the rich ones that get money from illegal ways, because they know that when the country got what they want, then this thing will be open. If you make clean money, pay tax, then why will you be scared if these people decide to take their liberation? The country will not stand today. If you think that Nigeria will stand with this problem, it will not stand. There's no country that is divided that stands. Look at Tinubu. When he's making policy, he doesn't make policy in the favor of the country. He makes policy in favor of tribe. How can the country stand? The legal system, you don't take people because of you want justice to be done. You take people because you want them to be corrupted, to go your own way. It's not justice. So Nnamdi Kanu case Nnamdi Kanu have been set free, even the way they brought him in. But they want the case to go on their own way. Then how can the country work? When you meet the EFCC, they are chasing all the Yahoo boys. Why the governors, why the senators are there stealing money? Whose money when all the senators will travel with 10, 20 people? Who provide those money? What are they going there for? Whose money when the senators, there's no electricity, common electricity. When you go outside the country, electricity is the common thing people play around with. Nigeria does not have electricity. And Nnamdi Kanu said this, if you are new on my program, if you look at Nnamdi Kanu's program, there's no way you fought the guy. Nnamdi Kanu says before he was arrested, before the military came to his house to destroy it, he said to Buhari then, if you can give us a good road from what they call it, Omahia, Enugu, all the eastern place to connect to each other, that I don't have problem that one Nigeria can stand. If you can give us a good road, if you can give us a train, if you can give us a seaport, if you can give us, this is something that others have. Lagos have maybe about 3 seaports. If you can give us a seaport, if you can make a transportation for our people to be okay, so that our children that goes to school, they can come back home. That's the thing. That if you can make it that we ourselves can also feed the federal, input in Biafra land. Tell me one federal input in Biafra land. Tell me. There's none. When you talk about the police headquarters, you are talking about Abuja, Lagos. When you talk about immigration, you're talking of Lagos. When you're talking of all the companies, tell me how many government companies, not individual companies, that you find in our areas. There's none. The only thing you find in Biafra area is checking point. They have checking point. Do you know that last year, they make about 45 billion from just Biafra checking point? This money they make, you ask yourself, even people that cannot afford, they are giving $100 to police. From here to here, you give $100. Do you know traveling to Biafran area costs you more than any other place in Nigeria? Just travel from Lagos to the east. Have you thought about this? These are all things that Nnamdi Kanu say, okay, stop the checkpoints. Give our people life. Let our people feel what state or country look like. When you go to Biafra land, you can't find any scrapers from the government. All you can find is from individual. Tell me what you see in Lagos, what you see in Abuja. Do you have that? Tell me anywhere in the East you have that. There's none. So why do you blame Nnamdi Kanu? If you say that we need this thing, why will you blame him? If Nnamdi Kanu say that we don't have this in our area, we need to have this in Biafra land, why should you blame Nnamdi Kanu for that? Nnamdi Kanu say that, okay, we don't have train. Go to Lagos. In fact, while he was building train from his place to Mina, to Niger Delta, to Niger State, or Niger country, sorry. Niger country, sorry. Niger, right? But in the East, they don't have those trains. Lagos have fast train. Abuja have fast train. But there's nowhere in the East you find those things. The worst road are in the East. And then we have checking point from here to here. Go to Lagos, travel around all these Western states. You see they have good roads, more than us. Go to the North, see how they are prepared. Even the North keeps stealing all the money. Look at how their roads are. But go to the East, you can't touch road. They tell you it's a federal road. They will not repair it. Few days ago, Eastern Senator, I don't know if you can watch it, was crying out about dam they promised to build. He said they signed like 15 million naira. They signed this since 12 years ago. They only pay 4 million naira. They have not built this up to now. In the East, 12 years ago. This is little money they spend in North. So when Nnamdi Kanu is saying this today, will you come and blame him? Will anybody fault him? The way the court case, okay, if Nigeria is a law country, the way Nnamdi Kanu was brought to the country, is that how people are brought to the country? Nnamdi Kanu there's no time that he's ready to run. He even said that I'm going to Abuja with 1 million people. That's what he said. Then the government starts to bring soldiers and kill those people. Nobody today have accounted for those people that are killed in his house. The law are going on. Look at the magistrate we have. When you talk about holistic, we need their holistic review of Nnamdi Kanu case. What happened to Nnamdi Kanu? How do we get to where we are? Why did Nnamdi Kanu leave Nigeria? Why is Nnamdi Kanu arrested? That's what happened. You see Simon Ekpa case in Finland, which I don't want to go. One day I will come on that Simon Ekpa case in Finland. Finland have never tabled that case fully. They just came out and do their own thing. Some people say, no, it doesn't work that way. They're talking about my people. So the Nigerian government is not showing up in Simon Ekpa case again. They are running away. They are running away in Simon Ekpa case, if you want to know that. So Nnamdi Kanu case, let's continue on the Nnamdi Kanu case. Nnamdi Kanu, all I say, Nigerian government, the lawyers have to bring up, okay, we are talking about now, they are talking how did Nnamdi Kanu come to Nigeria. Now, Nigeria, even Nigeria Security don't know how Nnamdi Kanu come to Nigeria. That's the idea now. That's the problem. DSS have been denying people access to go and see Nnamdi Kanu. Then why are you denying people access to go and see Nnamdi Kanu if you guys are not involved in the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu? You got no idea who Nnamdi Kanu is. Then why don't you ask people when they come? You say, okay, people will see somebody they brought to us. You guys take him home. If Nnamdi Kanu is lost and found somebody, you let him go. Not telling us that even Nnamdi Kanu told you that he was, taken from Kenya to Nigeria. Somebody was saying, this intelligence officer telling us this. Nnamdi Kanu told him. Man, we need to wake up to begin to address this thing. If you are not an Igbo, if you're from anywhere, even Africa, the way we are now bumping up Ibrahim Traore, that's the way we have to bump up Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra people. And remember, even the Burkina Faso is one of the places that Biafran people ran during the wartime. They welcome Biafra. Burkina Faso recognized Biafra. And because they are the people of Ofra, they are the people that live clean life in Africa. They try to make their things very good. If the magistrates want to relieve himself, Nnamdi Kanu case should not be attended. Because one, the DSS need to be sued for having somebody they have no knowledge about. They have denied of having anything to do with Nnamdi Kanu, bringing Nnamdi Kanu to Nigeria. The Interpol denied. Then how does it come? So Kenya should be summoned to come and tell them why did they allow Nnamdi Kanu to be taken? See, Nigerian magistrates have never even summoned Kenya, because why this thing are going on, the lawyers have to look other way and say, well, let's get Kenya to tell us how did they release Nnamdi Kanu? Who take Nnamdi Kanu? How? Why? So Kenya will come and tell us. Because that's what's happening, and the Nigerian government has literally taken their hands off, saying, oh, we don't know. They leave Nnamdi Kanu to go, they refuse. Then Kenya should come and tell us how did Nnamdi Kanu, a British citizen, came to their area, they allow it to be kidnapped to Nigeria. It's not just like this is a cross-border something. By flight, the flight will not just fall from heaven. Flight, you need signal from the country for your flight to land. Every country has signal. You have to signal the flight, because if you don't signal the flight to come, maybe and that flight have to take that place, it will not land. And flight is not something you hide in your bag. It's something that make noise in the airport. It's something, security men are not men that just came. These are somebody they whisker away from the airport. They give them special access way to take this guy on. So it's not a guy that just go across your normal area. No, they got special areas like leaders pass through. If you have president of a country, if you have diplomats, or maybe sometimes footballers are special, they give them different access to pass. And that's the access they pass. The public will not see them. So today, what we are seeing is injustice in all areas. Our Nigerian government is trying to cover it up. If the generation did not elect this thing, unfortunately, the country will continue to suffer. If they did not do the thing right, the country will continue to suffer, because what happened? Everyone there don't care. All they think about is tribe. Because I'm Igbo now, so I'm speaking this, and they say, oh, because you are Igbo. They don't look at the justice side of it. Nobody wants to take a holistic view of what is going on in the country. Do you know the country I am in? I don't even know the background or the prime minister. I don't need to. Because when you're doing the right thing, that's what matters. Every woman deserves to live, enjoy life. That's the same thing Nnamdi Kanu was saying. How can you, taking all the millions, going to hospital in overseas, while a common man in the street cannot do that? How can you, having your child in Oxford University, in Harvard University, a common man in the country or not, and those are the common men that fight for you to be elected. You know that many hooligans that fight for Tinubu to be elected cannot even eat 2 square meals. But Tinubu is traveling around the world with his son, enjoying the life, and these people, they have nothing to do. When you look at that, I cry, because our people perish for lack of knowledge. Now, election will come, they'll ask you, they'll give you 5,000 naira to go and kill somebody or go and destroy somebody. Maybe that person will be the person that will employ you in job. You go and destroy it. The job you need to get, you need to take you 10, 20 years again before you can see that, because that person needs to come up. If he can't come up all your life, some of us, some of our parents, some of our brothers, some of our sisters destroy their generation helper through this election, through these people. Maybe this Biafra thing are going up, you are saying, Igbo this, Igbo that, you go and destroy Igbo man thing. That Igbo man could have been a man that will help you to train you, or to help you, to assist you to get to the next level of life. But you destroy those things. Maybe Nnamdi Kanu, as you are saying, Nnamdi Kanu is doing this. Most of these police people that are doing all this, most of those DSS, Nnamdi Kanu could have been the one that may be serving their family, because what he said may make their family to be liberated. Maybe the DSS man will be okay financially. How about his relative? How about those close to him? How about his community? Maybe if Nnamdi Kanu was set free, Nnamdi Kanu have justice system that works, and he got his justice and be set free, then Nnamdi Kanu ways will force people to build their community, make people to say, okay, what he's saying, we got to prove him wrong. But you help, either directly or indirectly, by keeping moods. You are indirectly supporting. By actively participating, you are directly supporting. Why can't we begin to reason another way? Why can't we begin to put our thought on this? Do you think that Kanu, from hearing my word today, if you are human, what will you think? Do you think that Kanu is guilty of this? Nnamdi Kanu, in one of his brokers at their home in Afaro, is that Afaro Kuku, or yeah, in Abia State, there's something he said that struck me. There's a young boy, I don't know if you guys remember, there's a young boy that came with some decoration like Lego, and all those things. Nnamdi Kanu shout, he cried. He said, it's because of you. That child does not relate to Nnamdi Kanu at all. Or his son? No. Nnamdi Kanu's son is set for life. He said, look at the young boy. He has no relative with the guy. He said to the young boy, he said, it's because of you guys I fight for Biafra. Because look at what you are doing at this logo. At this age and you have this experience, if at all Biafra is a functioning country, government will make sure that you make life. Because in Europe, young kids with talent like you, they help them to make things happen and they pay tax in the country. Now they can look at him and say, look at all this, you do this with this limited, finance and brain. You do this. How much more can you do if we make this country that you have access to whatever you want to do? Like we see in Europe. An European kid have access to a lot of things. They have access. And we Igbos can do it. Igbos, God, thank God that God have blessed Igbos. Forget about the oil, whatever it is. God have blessed Igbos. They are industrial. When you go back, I think the Biafra war is coming. When you go back to history, you see how Igbos were able to build after facing all this. Not only that they faced their town being destroyed, they faced Nigerian government stealing from them, they faced Nigerians stealing their property. A lot of Igbos are denied schools. They have to change their name maybe to answer all these Yoruba or Hausa name in order to get into university. But 30 years later, today Igbos, people say Igbo will dominate us. If I hear that thing, people say Igbo will dominate us, I laugh. I say, this is ignorance. Somebody took everything from him, then you are coming out and saying he will dominate you. It's a shameful thing. It's a shame that you don't even need to think about it. So this is why we are saying this. Now they can look at that and cry. You today, when you look at Biafra land, is it because your family is okay, they can feed? Then you think that, yes, the others deserve to die. How do you feel when you look at people that have so many and they have nothing to talk about? In Igbo land, the good structure you saw is built by individual businessmen. Even the police station you have in Igbo land is not standard, it's substandard compared to the one you see in the north, in Kaduna, in Abuja, you see in Sokoto. Go to Igbo land, you see some police station, you'll be crying. Go to Igbo land, have you checked hospital in Biafra territory? Check the hospital. And today, I'm just saying this, when you go some Bayelsa areas, these are places that produce oil, you will cry. There's no accessible road. Unless there's pipeline there, then you will find accessible road there. People begin to ask, why will Nnamdi Kanu be held? There's this young man that even talking through now. Tomorrow they will arrest him and hold him too, the way they wanted to do. Very dark man. They will do that because that's similar to Nigeria doesn't want the truth. In Nigeria, if you're saying the truth for vulnerable people, Nigeria is like Europe in Africa, dominating, killing their own people. Even though people say we want to separate, we are separated with Ghana, but Ghanaian people can come to Nigeria and go. Togo people can come to Nigeria and go. Benin people can come. Then why can't we do it too? Look at what is happening in Middlebelt. Today, why I don't cry so much in Middlebelt, I say what they did is caused by, what they call it, Danjuma. When the Middlebelt join hand and shed the innocent blood of Biafran people, that is what is happening to Middlebelt today. Unfortunately, their children are reaping it. That's why I say this. If you, as now, refuse to do something, your children will reap it. Some of those people that fight Biafra war from Middlebelt, some of those people that give assets from Enugu, most of them have died. But their children are reaping the sins of their father. Some of the Northerners that fight those wars are dead, but their children are reaping the sins of their father. So you that listen to me today, don't give excuse. Why not? Because what you fail to do today, your son or daughter will repeat. We live in a global world that the world is becoming more smaller and smaller. People connect through internet and everything. Your grandchild may decide to marry from Biafra territory. Then the day he'll be going to see his wife or girlfriend there, that's the day war will break out. They will kill the son. And you'll be saying, what kind of Satan is this? It's not Satan, it's you that failed to do the right thing. You are the cause of that child. Because if I told that you stop it today and speak truth today, the things settled today, your child will not be victim tomorrow. Or you yourself. Some of us today cannot go back to our village and sleep. Some of us today cannot have full access to our farm because of Fulani investment. Because we refuse. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was saying it, that if we keep keeping quiet, we are allowing Fulani to have access to the land, to your ancestral land. That's what you are doing. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was shouting this, and some people think that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a liar. Today, what is happening? Many people cannot go back to village. They only remain in Lagos. Lagos soon will be run over by Fulani. It will. Those people that think that hand will not get them, it will get them. So when we look at all these things, I hope Mazi Nnamdi Kanu lawyers will begin to reference, because the DSS says now that they don't know how Mazi Nnamdi Kanu come to Nigeria. They are not. Then it's all left to them to contact Kenya, and the magistrate, by law, they have to summon the Kenya ambassador to come to court and tell them, how did Kenya release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Why? What happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? That's it. That's the magistrate. If it's a country that works, they will summon the ambassador in Nigeria on behalf of Kenya to come and tell us what happened. They send him a letter. How did this British guy end up with DSS here? The DSS, they don't know what happened. How did they end up here? Because this guy is not in Nigeria. Or you guys should come and take him. That's what is going to happen. This is the way. But if Nigeria decide, people say set Nnamdi Kanu free, set Nnamdi Kanu free. To me, let's look at this thing. To set Mazi Nnamdi Kanu free is not easy. On my heater, guys. Guys, to set Mazi Nnamdi Kanu free is not easy. Who told you to set Mazi Nnamdi Kanu free is easy? A lot of political settlement will get involved. Now, to set Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is free will come with a lot of things. One, if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu passport is still valid, Nigerian government have to give me a special pass to move, to leave the country. Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not come to Nigeria willingly. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu decides to use British passport, he will get stamped out. So to set Mazi Nnamdi Kanu free is to give him the bypass, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to leave the country too. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they set Mazi Nnamdi Kanu free and he remains in the country, then Nigerian government can find a way to stitch him up, then arrest him and say he committed a crime. As it is now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not commit any crime, you know that. Because he's not even in Nigeria. They asked the DSS man, that's again, they asked the DSS man, what did this guy do? He said that they hear he play one tape, they start playing the tape, then he just say, where does they do this? What they call it? Nnamdi Kanu lawyer asked him, where did this tape take place? The DSS man said, I don't know. You don't know where it take place. And you are saying this. You see how intelligent we have. We are in a big trouble. Nigeria is in a big trouble. Kenya is in a big trouble. In Nnamdi Kanu case. In a normal country, this case is not a case that Nnamdi Kanu will spend 2 nights here. Because what is done is not even done in Nigeria, it's done outside the country. So if that's the case, somebody like here I am now will tell them that, hey, break Nigeria, go and burn Aso Rock. They will go and do that. Nigerian government will scare because the government is not stable. The government is built on corruption. So if you are built on corruption, you should be scared always, like what you saw Cubana Chief Priest and Hope Uzodinma doing. Because Hope Uzodinma did not win the election legitimately. And Cubana Chief Priest's way is not clear. So they can do anything, trying to psych whoever they want to psych. They say that clear man fear no accusation. It's when you're corrupt, you're doing those things in order to buy favor. But will that favor save you? Will that favor keep you? I will ask yourself. Nnamdi Kanu case is too complicated. For Nigerian government to unlock this, it will take a lot of time. Kenya has to start finding a way to make their way straight because it will come to bite them. They made the biggest mistake by collaborating with Nigeria to kidnap British citizens. If they release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not going to spend a night in Nigeria. Because if he do spend in Nigeria, Nigerian government will stitch him up. Then that's where they will legally arrest Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So what the lawyer will be arguing that if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, if there's any deal that comes like that, he has to get a special pass to leave Nigeria. Or Nigerian government may say, okay, you guys should return this guy back to Kenya. Then Kenya have to explain to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu what happened since 3 years. They arrested him, or 4 years, right? So I come to your country illegally. I just came to my holiday overnight. You guys kidnapped me. Before I find myself in Nigeria. What am I doing there? What have I done to you guys? Because you did not break any law in Kenya. Remember, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not break any single Kenyan law. It's Kenya that break his own law. Kenya deny him his liberty. Kenya travel him miles away against his own wish. Did not break single law in Kenya. He looked for Kenya visa. He got the right visa. He got stamped in. He came to the country legally. But Kenya chose to, maltreat him bad. So that is something that we're going to look onto, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case is something that I reveal. I say, Buhari, wherever he is now, he'll be regretting his life. Why he ever ventured in with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case. Sometimes you don't act with emotion. You stay calm and act wisely. If you have been following me all this while, YouTube, you're following me on TikTok, you're following me on Facebook, I want to say thank you very much, guys. We can all do this. Let's keep this thing going. Some of the information you guys are saying now, we are still trying to gather the information about Biafran government in exile. We know that Finland went on Shambori law last time to say that Mazi Simon Ekpa is guilty, which he rejected. So they said they would set up a date for him to be judged, but he's still reminded. They went and extended his reminder there. So Finland is trying to play, but it's very hard. It's very hard. If Mazi Simon say, okay, I asked them to do this when you did not see him, then that's a problem. Our Igbos, our every Biafra, every lover of freedom, wherever you are, you should be praying and hoping for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be out. It's a lot of legal battle. You can't, even Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is out, he can't be able to spend time in Nigeria. Otherwise, then the government will stitch him up and say that this is who and this and that. That is what he did. So the wise man is, if they say they send Nnamdi Kanu up today, out, then the next day they give him special pass, he will leave Nigeria to Britain. Or they can take him back to Kenya where they brought him. Then he can find his way. After he finish with Kenya or Nigeria, this is a big lawsuit though, big lawsuit. That's why in Nigeria, people are saying that, no, it has to be very, very detailed. Deals, a lot of things involved. Igbos will be free. Is it the reason that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will continue to suffer? Because injustice prevails. Injustice continues to prevail in the land. From the head to toe, you have a drug baron president. You have Wike murderers. Look at people you have. You have David Omai. All these people are people that make no sense. Very arrogant people we brought here. I love justice. Justice is very good. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is guilty, they could have fined him since. But because they could not find anything, they control to stretch the law. And the more they are stretching the law, is the more they are digging more holes for themselves. I wish we will come to 10 one day and make the nation a greater nation. We need good Africa. We need Africans that are looking for freedom. Let them have the chance to decide, not to impose on their people, but to have the vote, like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon ever say, vote before they start taking all this thing now. And the time of votes is gone. Like, remember last time, the Biafran government in Ezra conducted a vote. Do you know what happened? More than half of Biafran territory people say they want to leave. I thank you for watching me tonight. I'll be trying to come online as much as possible. Like, I'll make it probably on Wednesdays. Yeah, on Wednesdays. I'll be making it on Wednesdays to come and give broadcasts. I know many of you have missed me and missed my program, but please, if you've been following me, like my YouTube, follow my YouTube, share, subscribe, follow the OB on Facebook. Yeah, subscribe, follow me, and share. Whatever you do, guys, do it properly. I just want to thank you guys. And also, most importantly, let's pray for Mazi Simon Ekpa. Let's pray for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Let's pray for everyone, one way or the other, that involved in the liberation. Not only in Nigeria, around the world. Freedom is not easy. Freedom is not easy. Freedom is not also given. Freedom is taken. Let me borrow a good word I borrowed from Ibrahim Torre. He says, if a slave is not ready to rebel against those oppressors or against those that claim that they are his masters, then that slave is not worthy to be rescued. When you get to the water to drown, it's when you lift your hand, struggling, people will know you are drowning. But when you keep calm, people will think that you are doing what you think you want to do. Let's not allow fear to rose us our chance. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a good example that we should all continue to fight for freedom. Freedom is not all about you. When you fight for you, you fight for vulnerable people. The Biafran land will bless you. Everywhere you are will bless you. Our people, I know the Igbos are highly blessed. It will always be well with the Igbos, wherever you are. It will always be well with lovers of Igbos. Other Biafran territory people, it will always be well with them. Because Chukwokike is with them. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, wherever he is, we pray for him now. That room he is will be anointed. His food, his going out and his coming in. His case will be anointed. Those that stand before him also will be anointed, because Igbos are unique. We call on God to help. At the appointed time, he will be released. I want to say thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for those that join me from around YouTube and everything. You guys are legends. That's my 1 hour program, and I hope that we can inspire this. The truth is that in a country that justice system work, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be set free. In a country that justice system work, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will not only be set free, but will be highly, highly compensated. Either way. Let's learn to do the good thing. Let's do the right thing. Let's show some love. Whether you're Igbo, outside Yoruba, Ishekiri, whatever you are, the fight for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is for you. Whether you're from the north, the fight for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is for us. We don't want to see people, crops getting destroyed by flying herdsmen. We hope that today program is well. And thank you guys for joining me again. Thank you if you're on YouTube. Thank you. I got so many people on YouTube before and up to now too. Thank you guys if you share. But don't forget to subscribe by this channel on YouTube so that when I come online, you can catch up with me, okay? I will be leaving YouTube now. Then I will leave Facebook later. I'll probably leave Facebook first and TikTok first. Then I will leave you guys. So thank you if you're in Facebook. I want to say thank you very much for joining me. I want to say thank you very much for listening to my voice and every those things. I just congratulate you guys. Let's hope this way that justice system will work. And for you to know this thing, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have not committed any crime. Because even the DSS can tell you that they don't got idea He was showing a clip about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They asked him question, who is Mazi Nnamdi? He got no idea. That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu all once told him that the kidnapping from Kenya. How is the word? A intelligent officer could not know the person is holding. It's kind of like crazy. Okay, thank you, Facebook, and let me finish with YouTube. Well, guys, if you watch me here, thank you for many of you that join me on YouTube here. Thank you for everything, and I hope that you guys stay well. Pray for good week for you guys. Please, if you want to, if you have not followed me, please hit the like button or subscribe button. And I'll be having my break now. So I will be back in maybe next week. I'll come back with other things. I'm trying to say, like I said, I will try to expose the issue of Yahoo Boys that this guy talks about. Because I have interest on that Yahoo Boys. We need to make the country much better. But the way it's stigmatizing the boys, it's kind of painful. And I hope that we can all learn. Stay safe, and thank you for following me. Thank you for subscribing, and hope to see you guys some other time. Stay safe, and thank you very much. Bye.